Hey, what's up guys? Another gameplay video. Same place as many of the videos that I've put up. Long live paintball. I was actually playing today with my buddy Evan
guys.
and Alex Dreamer from YouTube. I saw them on the field and had the pleasure of playing with them today. This is first of the series that I'm going to put up, but don't let this video fool you. This is actually towards the end of the day. I had a little bit of a drama with the pump this morning. I had intended to use it in the morning and then switch to the electro, but the opposite actually happened. I got ready with the pump and
there's two.
684 bore barrel, thinking that was enough, but I get to the chrono and the first few shots were fine, 275 to 80. Then I started to see some significant
one out on the left.
I then saw 250, 220, all the way down to 200, then back to 260 again, 270. So I was trying to figure it out. It wasn't until I pointed the gun down, and somebody pointed out that the paintball just came out of the barrel. So then I cocked it a few times, and the paintball just started rolling out of the barrel. So apparently the paintballs that I got in the morning were smaller than I had originally thought, and from the past paintballs that I had been using, but that was actually my fault. When I left this morning, I was a little too lazy in using my bringing my other barrel. I actually have a smaller bore barrel, a 682, which would have definitely been fine for the paint I was using in the morning, but it's a lesson learned. I actually had to use the electro in the morning because of the detents. It wasn't until I got a different bag of paintballs that were slightly thicker, so it was more manageable with the barrel that I was using. So I was able to finally use the pump for a couple of games. This is the first game. We were playing on the container field, and it was a pretty decent group this game. I'd say 8 versus 8 or 9-8. Maybe even a 10 versus 10. People were playing a little reserved for what I thought it was going to be. So I just decided to sit back as well, especially with the pump, and just look out the windows and see if I can catch anybody moving up or leaving themselves exposed as they advanced. Looking to the left, I see some people to the left and to the right, and just trying to see if I can catch them. So right about here, I see that one guy from the other team manages to go to the snake side, and I'm just trying to see if I can get him out. And as you can hear, we're definitely getting pelted through the windows, so I had to turn that volume a little bit down, otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear me. But I'm asking the guy if he can get a good angle on the snake, but I guess he misunderstood and he wanted to go into the other window. So I take his spot and I try and get a good angle on the snake, as well as the other guy in the white tower on that side who was backing him up. And I see Evan coming up from the outside to see and get whoever was on our left side. And here I am just trying to get the guy on snake, as well as on the right side, trying to cover. And another guy comes up from my team, looking at the same window I am, but making sure there's nobody on the left. So I decide to just concentrate on the right while he looks towards the left. I'm just trying to pay attention to what he's doing.
He's really close.
And as he fires his gun, I notice that it's at a pretty steep angle. So I'm just assuming that there's another guy to the left who's really close to where we are. So I'm just watching him closely while I try to fire on the guys on the right-hand side. I try to watch him and see what he's doing. Right about here, he turns around, tries to get his buddy. And as soon as he turns around, I knew he was basically almost over. That guy on the other side was able to make it to the cargo, and Evan over there was able to try to shoot him, but he gets shot out himself. And it was only a matter of time until that guy on the other side would go through the window and shoot us. And I was also fearing that the guy on the snake would also advance and try and get us through the doors. But shortly after that, I see people just walking off the field, and I kind of knew that they called the game. I don't think the refs remembered we were there, so they called the game. This is the second game. We switched sides, and as we start the game, everybody is just walking to the cargoes, to their spot. So it was strange. It was just a little bit surreal that people were just taking it casually. So I just walked with them and see what was happening.
Everybody's like relaxed. Everybody's relaxed. Nobody's like running, shooting.
It seemed that the other team was doing the same thing. Didn't really move up too much. I could see people on the left side of the cargo, on the other side of the field. I didn't really see anybody advancing this time. So I try to use that opportunity to go out the barrel this time and have a different strategy as opposed to just staying in the barrel. And on the right side, I see one of the opponents out of the cargo and advancing towards the middle. So I get into a snap battle with him a little bit.
Thanks. You right?
So as I said before, this was towards the end of the day. I wish I was able to play a little bit more pump today, but you know, having a couple of games of pump was good. My buddy Evan was actually running with the pump, so both of us were running pump for a little bit, and you know, it was fun to use it and work on our movement and snapping using the pump. And right about here, I just decide to move up. I didn't see too much movement on the right hand side or getting shot at, so I managed to make it to the 50. Checking on the right side, didn't really see too many people, but I had to be careful on the left side. I just assumed that more people would be on the left side, and fortunately they didn't know I was there, and I was able to catch a few of the guys as they advanced and left their side exposed to me. Playing today was actually a last-minute decision. I really wasn't planning on playing this Saturday, but once I learned that there was a big speedball event going on this weekend, I kind of assumed that the speedball field would be less empty, and I wanted to be able to play some rec ball as well as some speedball, so I just moved some things around to enable me to play this Saturday. And fortunately I was right, and it wasn't too crowded in the speedball field, so we were actually able to get a few of the rec ball players who had electros to come out to the speedball field and play. And we had a good group. We had 6 versus 6, 5 on 5, even 4 on 4. So it was a good change. It's been a while since I played in the speedball field, and usually it gets crowded on Saturday. There are a lot more teams practicing, but today was very nice. I had a good mix of rec ball, speedball, as well as some pump at the end. And just hanging out with my buddy Evan and one of the, like I said before, a guy from YouTube, Alex Dreamer, to be able to play with them and meet new people. That's always a good thing. And right about here, I think I overstayed my welcome. I stayed in the same place too long, and some of the people finally know I was there, and it's only a matter of time. But I definitely have a lot more video to go through. I was there from the morning till about 4 o'clock, and I have a lot of video from the speedball
there might be
field
somebody
and
up ahead of us.
using the electro in the morning actually. So that's going to take some time for me to edit and go through and make it a little bit interesting. I don't want to just post all those games up. So I'll just have to go through it and see what I can edit and post up. So I guess right about here is when they start to realize that I'm there, and I just try to do whatever I can to see if I can get them out. I didn't want to move back and give up that ground, and I didn't want to move further up because I would be exposed on the left. So I start to draw some fire now, and I know it's just a matter of time. I've got, what, 2 or 3 electros ahead of me, and so I try to do what I can to hold them off and maybe even get a lucky shot on them. And right there I get some splatter. Somebody catches the edge of the barrel and splatters on me. And I try to move back and get a better angle. And this is where I get shot out, I guess, from the window. And that was a good shot on their part. And that's it for the pump play. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.